come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessings, blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Hey everyone, good evening. John, yeah, I was just about to tell you that, John. Welcome everyone to the Village Radio Talk Show. I'm Roderick Daly. I am your host. Joining me is our co-host, John Sampson. And on the top of your screen is Andre Doman hiding part of his face. But that's our executive producer, Andre Doman, up there. Welcome everyone to the Village, where we're dedicated.
My face not hiding. I'm here fully.
Where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, any point, starting from today. What's going on?
Hey man, I got a bone to pick. And my bone to pick is, no, that's not a bone to pick. I have a statement. Nikki Haley does not deserve to be even running for president of the United States. She needs to step out of the primary. When you cannot answer a simple question as to what was the cause of the Civil War, you can't give a direct answer, not because she did not know the damn answer. And I don't care how Fox and Friends try to cover her. I don't care. The bottom line is that is a very basic question. And it's a comment. I was listening to CNN, and they said one of the hosts was talking about, they were talking about a prior governor of South Carolina, and said Nikki Haley, she goes with the wind. She does not have any sort of, I don't know if you would describe it, you call it principle. She does not have a principle. She basically goes wherever the wind blows. Your preference versus principle. And it's unfortunate. And she can't answer a basic question like that. She doesn't deserve to be president of the United States of America. That's what I got to say.
John, I don't know if she couldn't answer the question. Here's my take on it, and this is my opinion. By talking about it means that she's acknowledging that slavery existed. And she doesn't want to acknowledge the harm that slavery did to generation of folks.
And this is what they talk about. I listening to, Fox News, man, they talk about, what? Everything should be based upon the qualifications of an individual based upon merit. But when you have people who cannot acknowledge your simple history, slavery existed, it had an impact upon people.
Wait,
and this is
John, I just want to correct you with one thing. It has had a continuous
okay,
impact. Go ahead, you're saying.
Continuous impact. I stand to be corrected. A continuous impact on people, and for people, and especially for Republicans to discount that. I'm listening to Tim Scott. He's talking about no racism, equality. There's no damn equality. When you're a daggone presidential candidate and you cannot say slavery was one of the root causes of the Civil War, because you have to worry about walking on eggshell. Either you didn't know or you were too concerned about the far right that you can't. This is what's wrong with politicians. Call it as you see it. People will respect you more.
That's true.
So Nikki, my point one of my points is Nikki Haley does not deserve to be president of the United States. And even Donald Trump could answer that question.
John, I feel the anger. I hear the anger, and it goes back to some of the things we've spoken about, John, where first of all, before we continue on the topic, I want to say greetings to all of our villagers out there. Hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Today is the third day of Kwanzaa, recognizing those 3 days. And to all of you, hopefully to all of us who celebrate Christmas, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. For those of you who don't celebrate, happy holiday season, and whatever you celebrate, hopefully you're enjoying our time with family and friends. We're going to what we're talking about, John. This is why it's very upsetting that they want to remove Africana studies in our schools. This is why it's upsetting that you want to remove Black history in our schools. Because if you're not willing to acknowledge, I think, and I'm bringing it up, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Not acknowledging slavery is not acknowledging the Holocaust. Right? Not acknowledging slavery is not acknowledging what France has done to Haiti, and we could go on. And
that's why you're right, Roger. That's why they want to take certain things. Like see Ron DeSantis, certain things not taught. This is the ignorance that exists. Because if you don't know your history, you are definitely bound to repeat it.
And my rule in history, John, is history repeats itself. And if you didn't understand what happened in the past, you're doomed for what has returned to you. And you're right. And Don Lemon, who was fired by CNN. Because of how he misspoke about Nikki Haley.
Yeah, he made a sexist remark, definitely.
Right. According to me, misspoke. Right.
Right. Same thing like Nikki Haley, like Don Lemon said. You want grace, and you wouldn't give me grace.
Exactly. So why should we, as the American people,
not give Nikki Haley grace at all? She doesn't deserve it to become it's just like what was the question? It was one of the presidential candidates. They asked him about Aleppo, about the country Aleppo, and he did not know. And it's unbelievable. Something such as basic as that, and you can't not ask the question. because either you don't know the answer or you just don't want to say the truth because you're afraid to offend somebody. That's not a leader to me.
She's afraid to offend some of her voters. Welcome everyone. Hey Chuck. Chuck, I agree with you that a lot of these individuals, these candidates, don't deserve to be president. I'm not going to put any name out there, but I think when you are standing up and you look at somebody who is, if Trump can't go, she's next in line right now, and don't understand.
That shit frightened me more. That frightened me more than Ron DeSantis, man.
Yeah, that the lack of acknowledgement, and people are supporting them, because don't forget, let's not excuse Donald Trump on some of his, sexist.
But I would agree. But Donald Trump, we know what Donald Trump is. This is Nikki Haley. Donald Trump has shown us who he is. He knows that. We explain. I respect that. But Nikki Haley tries to come off as a person that is, a person that is can be representative of all people and acknowledge, her issue with I got rid of the Confederate flag and all of this because it wasn't opportunity for her to do it. Yep. There's enough pressure going on.
Don't forget, John, she claims her Native American heritage too, as well. She claims it.
So that's my that really stuck in my throat when I heard something like that. But what also is really sticking in my throat is the federal government's lack of support that a lot of these cities are receiving because of the migrants. And you know what? I don't blame Abbott. Governor Abbott made a strategic move. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who wants to be a sanctuary city, and this is what happens with liberals all the time. These liberals and progressives, they always want to support these policies that really don't have an impact into their own backyards. But now it has an impact in their backyards. Now you want to reconsider what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting the support. And the mayor in New York City, Chicago, I think Denver, San Francisco. You know what? The federal government needs to step up. They need to get involved in this immigration stuff. They need to, Biden just needs to, put it on the floor, put it out there. Enough is enough because we cannot sustain it. I mean, I commend the Mayor Adams of what he did. If you're going to be sending these, there's certain parameters that you have to be guided by. And I'm glad he set those up now. You know what I'm saying? This is one move. And there's, enough is enough. And eventually the mayor's going to say, you know what? There's no more room at the inn. It's over.
Welcome.
All these liberals. Let's start opening these residents in the Park Slope. Let's start opening them in Brooklyn Heights. Let's start opening them up in the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side. Let's do all that.
Saying, welcome, Dr. Bryant.
Good evening.
Hey, Doc. Good evening, Doc.
You actually.
Hey, Doc. We started off with that. What do you think about that Nikki Haley non-responsive answer?
But then she went back and said, yes, it went with slavery. I was listening to what you mentioned. It is the truth, Roderick, that by removing African American away from his, taken out of school and say, hey, you don't need to teach this. It is a push of something. You're trying to not acknowledge the fact of history that happened. So by her not acknowledging right then and there, are you saying that slavery didn't occur? That it wasn't the reason for going to war. So it is a shame because we stand on truth. We stand on this, we stand on that, but you're not standing on truth. It's whatever, whoever you're trying, your base, you're trying to hit your base to, hey, you know what? If I say this,
Nikki Haley does not, as we were taught by Pastor Bernard, it's either preference versus your convictions. Nikki Haley, whatever is preferential, whatever the soup of the day is, that's where Nikki Haley's going to go. She has no backbone, no conviction to stand up for what the truth is. Call it, and and I thought she had some headway when she called the whole abortion issue. Says, we don't have the votes, so we can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You were speaking truth to power at that point in time. But when it comes to basic American history and the impact slavery, the continuous impact slavery has had on our communities, and you can't simply acknowledge that, you don't deserve to be president of the United States. Even Donald Trump would have gave the right answer.
I just want to acknowledge what Chuck, she acknowledged that, because I think that's part of her. That was when she just came out a few years ago when she started talking. She acknowledged it because I forgot. She was talking about that she pulled herself from the bootstrap because she was her family came. She's from immigrant background. When she was trying to, I don't remember exactly whether it was defining why she understood the plight of immigrant America, because her family were immigrants. So she did acknowledge it. No, but she spun it, right? She spun it and say that she's an American, right? When she was governor of North Carolina,
South Carolina,
she spun it and say that she's an American and blah 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 blah. But it's not that she doesn't acknowledge it; it's that she doesn't look at it. She doesn't realize that she is. You see, one of the things that I tell people all the time when you talk about race, which makes it different from a time when you talk about Jews, when you talk about homosexuality, when you talk about Christianity or lack thereof, or any other religion, or anything else, rich and poor. You can't recognize those things by just seeing the person. Just like you cannot see anybody with mental health, but it exists. You can see your race. You can see who you are. If I were, somebody in one of my domino group was describing that there is no black, right? And I'm like, yes, there is, because there's a definition of black. And in America, there is black, there is white, and what people identify themselves as. But anything else, you have to tell somebody, right, that you are. I am Jewish, I am Christian, I am gay, I am straight, I am whatever. But you don't have to tell somebody that I am black. Whether you want to identify as it.
I don't know about that, Roger.
Listen, John, whether you want to identify as black, whether you want to identify as whatever, when people look at you and the cops pull you over, when you go into the bank, when you go into a school to get an education, when you look at all of those things and you pull them together and you recognize that blacks get mortgage less than 50% in comparison to their white counterparts. When you look at it, that blacks are not real homeowners. When you look at it, that blacks have the highest dropout rate and lack of graduation rate. It's no coincidence, and it's over time. So if you can't recognize the effect of slavery and want to dismiss it because you want to become president of the United States, that's a problem. I'm not telling anybody to
Both of the
recommend.
Republicans are a problem.
Well, I don't, because you know what? It's not a Republican issue or a Democratic.
No. Their view on how to treat blacks or white, or their bias and racism, is apparent, completely apparent. The one from Florida, he's an idiot, a total idiot. But by wanting to remove history, and the fact that the college board made changes because this man was threatening, that's a problem.
Mhm.
That's a
We
major
agree,
problem.
right?
But then you also have the other one, the young, I can't even remember his name. He is such a clown. He actually is like trying to be extreme of Trump. So one wants to be
You
Trump.
mean
Probably Vivek.
Vivek.
Yeah.
He's vying to become Trump's running mate. That's what he's looking.
He will not. Trump will not have him as a running mate. Even Trump knows that guy's too far he's far out there.
No, Andre, pull up Dr. Black Butterfly's comment. Thank you. Truth be told, she's walking a fine line. Missteps are costly. I don't blame her. Pause or lack of response is so she's thinking and understand the power of her words. I don't.
Who said that? Who said that?
Dr. Black Butterfly.
Dr. Black Butterfly.
And the impact. Could you bring up her final comment, Andre, on the topic, and the impact it could have long term? I agree with that. Right?
Fly away. There's no excuse. There is no excuse.
For posting, responding, commenting.
I think
there is no excuse.
No, but John, I think she has a point, right? Because like we're saying,
what's the point?
Hold on, like we're saying now.
Tell me, Roger, what's the point? What's the point? Tell me.
Hold on.
Tell me.
Right? She doesn't want to lose that white audience.
Of course.
You know what? If that's the case, you don't deserve
John,
to be president.
Wait, John. We as black folks, right? You're frozen, John. We as black folks want the acknowledgement. The informed white folks and other races.
I'm not frozen. You're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen?
No, you were frozen for a minute, John.
Right? We want to, we who are of the mindset that an understanding of the truth want the acknowledgement. She's running for president. And if she says certain things like Dr. Bryant just reminded us of what DeSantis is doing, what they're doing in Texas, what they want to do in many of these red states, and remove Africana studies. If she doesn't toe that line, right? If she doesn't toe that line, she might drop back in the polls. It's not like when Sarah Palin said that she could have seen Russia from her backyard. Now, that's just like outright stupidity, right? But the collection of words in this case can have a great impact on her run for president. Right? We lost John, right? And so I can hear exactly what Dr. Butterfly is saying.
When she realized she made
and also go back to Dr. Frey's comment, Andre. Many blacks were Democrats, or they vote Democrat. So that combined with Dr. Butterfly's comment, those two comments together.
Dr. Butterfly, fly away. No way.
Right? So that, along with Dr. Butterfly's comment, have an impact. Do I really want to address something that affect the black vote, that who's not going to vote for me? Or do I want to say something that's going to...
So you know what? If that is the case, then she's not going to represent any...
I agree. And that makes her dangerous.
Yeah.
You're frozen, John.
And that's the same thing.
Wait, hold on, John. Hold on, Doc. John, you were frozen and we didn't hear your last comment.
My comment is that's why if she's afraid because she says the people of color, blacks, are not going to vote for her, so therefore she's not going to represent us or represent our interest.
That's a very good, but that ties in what Dr. Butterfly and what Dr. Frey are saying, right? If I know that I don't have your support anyway, I want to make sure that what my collection of words say and mean would impact the people that are going to vote for me. And that's why what
You know
she
what
said,
people respect? No. You know what people respect?
right?
Roderick, you know what the worst type of person is? The worst type of person, as Bob Marley would say, some people would eat and drink with you
Yep,
and stab you in the back.
absolutely.
She'll beat you. She'll eat. Oh, I sympathize with you, but at the same time, she won't advocate anything that shows you any compassion for your sympathy. Get the hell out of here, Nikki Haley.
You know, John. Back in
About it.
26,
Which
go ahead, Dr. Brian.
Republican? Which
I
Republican?
can't hear you.
Really?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Which Republican really stand for supporting all parties?
Christie.
I think Kirsty's a good candidate. Actually,
Yep.
I do think. I mean, you know what though?
He
Maybe
has some extremes too. You know,
I-
he has some form of racism as well.
I think Christie to us because for me, John, he's somebody that we are familiar with because he
Right.
was right next door in New Jersey.
But even next to New Jersey, when it came to Obama, he embraced him. Bob, you coming out to help? I'm not concerned whether I'm a Democrat, Republican. We need to help. And you know what? That in and of itself just showed me that, you know what? In times, we are all one people.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So Christie, to me, right now, I think he will. I think Christie would be a good president. Yes, he's going to have his ways, but so does Biden. So did Obama, right? Obama was responsible. Obama's years in office, he was responsible for the most deportation than any other president in the United States, right? So
I was looking for you, Roderick.
I know apparently they knocked on the window before and everything else. It's like they're hunting me down in my house, man.
It's Nikki Haley.
Yeah, she's hearing our comments on the radio, so she came after me first, right?
Yeah, Chris
Right.
is interesting. He's the only one that stand up to Trump.
Yeah. Well, Christie has been doing that lately as well, because Christie is removing himself from Trump, right? If you think about it, but when you think about it, right, all these people were part of we want to move on to our next topic, but before we do that, a lot of people who are running for president were part of Trump's inner circle, and that should tell America something. But the Trump supporters fail to see that you're part of my inner circle. I'm running against you because I don't think that I'm not backing you. I'm not supporting you. I don't want to be associated with you. You know, that didn't happen. You know, it didn't happen to Obama. It didn't happen to George Bush. Right.
What do you think? You know, I don't know. Right about now, I feel as though yeah, Trump is extreme or whatever, but Republicans are diehard Trump lovers, because for Colorado to put him back on the ballot is surprising.
But he's back on the ballot on a temporary basis.
Colorado did what?
They put it back on the ballot, but it's temporary. He's.
You know what? Trump should be on the ballot, man. He should be on the ballot.
You know what? I kind of don't. I kind of don't want him on the ballot. My opinion is, you know why I don't want him on the ballot? Not because I don't believe in the freedom of Dick, Tom, Harry, Jane, Susan to be on the ballot, but I think what he did to America, right? What he did to America and how he made America, look so bad around the world. I just feel that he made a mockery of America.
Oh, he was a mockery president.
Yeah,
it was a joke.
And he was the most mocked president, right? Like, you know, but
yeah, but but what I can say was the mortgage rates were a lot lower.
Oh, that's true too.
Hey, you gotta call a spade a spade. Mortgage rates were a lot lower. But you know what? I give Biden a little credit now. You see the price of gas has been coming down, listeners?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that the price of gas has been coming down? Yeah.
I bought gas last night. I bought gas last night on Flatlands and East 58 by the Shell gas station right there. 93 was 376.
That's right, baby. That's right.
It's funny because I have a 15-cent discount at BP.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving by and I was like, 398 minus 15 is 383. And then 376, 380, that's 6 cents difference. So you should see me doing the calculation in my head. You know what? You know which gas I got, right? And then when I got to the Shell, if you sign up for the card, it was just cold and I didn't want to do that. But if you sign up for the card, like then I would have saved another 5 cents. I would have spent $371 for gas last night for the 93. And then they had the 87 for 336. So you're right. On Utica and Clarendon, gas is cheap, ladies and gentlemen.
Utica and Clarendon, that's right.
Yeah, Utica and Clarendon. And while you fill up your tank, get a cup of coffee. You know that place Seaview and Rockaway Parkway, gas is cheap. 370 something for super. That's Brooklyn. So if anybody knows places where they are where gas is cheap, hey Janice, thank you so much, Janice, for your help last week when I was in the hospital.
Giving you shout outs.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm responding. I just saw the one from Janice.
Oh, you got mom. My mom decides she's gonna
shout. Yeah, actually, yes, your mom. I was saying hello.
Well, I'm shocked. She's on YouTube, responding on YouTube.
I last week I spoke about, or the week before, I spoke about your mom coming through and your dad and your uncle.
The prayer warriors.
And it was awesome. Janice, thank you for all you helped the hospital by. Thank you. You were very good when making those connections for me and making sure that they took even better care of me. I got a call from my doctor today.
What he said? Good news?
No. So
not good news?
No. Hold on. Let me just tell you the story. So I got a call from my doctor and he actually was speaking to me. But what happened was that I kind of changed doctors a little bit. I didn't fully change. So my old doctor was calling, wondering what's going on. So, I feel bad, right? So.
Why you feel bad?
Look at that. 305 regular. What's the name of the gas station, though? Exit 21 Southern State. What's the name of the gas station? What kind of gas is it? That's good price, though. But that's a huge disparity. 305 and 385. Why did I put the damn 9 cents at the end? 9/10 of a cent, John, at the end.
Tax purposes.
Right? I'm like, I already know. So that's why I try not to say 375 because people fail to realize that 9/10 is almost like saying $2.99, which is $3. Like people don't, in people's minds, they're trying to confuse people. What's this, Mr. Daly? You look good. Thank you. I was thinking about you today, Lanique.
Tell us what your doctor said.
No, he didn't. He was just like he was agreeing with the care, but it was kind of like he was calling me because he missed me. Because I haven't seen him in like a month.
He missed you. Oh, hell no, you don't miss your ass.
All right, because his name is funny. So because when he called, I was half asleep, right? Because I'm going back. I have some tiredness and stuff, and so I was half asleep. I'm like, hello, doctor.
You sound good. You look good.
Right. So my wife goes, it's Obama, and he goes, hey, he doesn't sound so because he calls me Obama, my doctor. So
what are you gonna say, John?
Huh?
When I
John?
My daughter was about to call him to collect on the bill. That's why he tried to play even sleep.
I don't understand. Agreed. Holding cards close makes you a suspect. What do you mean? Did somebody say something about holding cards? I missed that. I might have missed that.
Maybe going back to Nikki.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep your card close to your vest, to your chest.
Okay. Yes. Happy holiday. You know what I would like? We want to do a year in review. We're going to do that. Some of the stuff that has happened. That has happened. Okay. That's not something you put on the air.
Hold on. Hey, John, something else that
John, Nikki, he's going to run the commercial. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouth-watering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
Call Howard Housing Solution today for all your real estate needs. Sellers, we can get top dollar for your home, and our vast network of professionals can facilitate your move and help you purchase your dream home in another state. Buyers, we have a pulse on the market and can get you in a home quickly. Property owners, we can manage your property efficiently and allow you peace of mind. So why wait? Call Howard Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560 for your sale, purchase, or property management needs. Conveniently located in East New York, Brooklyn. You can come to us at 577 New Lots Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, or we can visit in the comfort of your home. Call Howard's Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560. Howard Housing Solutions. Real estate simplified.
Want to get your personal income tax, business corporate tax, self-employment tax, quarterly tax, payroll tax, or sales tax filing done professionally?
Yeah.
Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and take the worry out of your personal and business life. Tax compliance issues should be left to the pros. So when you want your business to grow, call the pros because a successful business matters. U.S. Bear LLC also handles accounting, bookkeeping, business startups, consultation, real estate, and many more services. Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and ask for Howard DaCosta, CEO, to book a 1-hour evaluation at no cost to you. Take remote control of all your needs and US Bear LLC will follow your lead. Want to work but don't have a social security number? Yes! Find out about getting a tax ID to pay your taxes. Call US Bear LLC or log on to www.usbear.com. Team up for success.
You know, John, you were saying something before we went to commercial. You remember?
Some incident that happened. You know, I don't know if I put it. I don't think I put it in the chat regarding an incident with these two young 14 and 15-year-olds squared off in the mall and killed their sister because they were too busy fighting over one got more Christmas gifts than the other. You had a 14 and 15-year-old pulling out automatic weapons.
Wow.
And killed their sister in the process.
Where was this?
Florida.
Oh, wow.
Pulled out a gun and killed, fighting over gifts?
Over gifts, because one got jealous. One brother got jealous of the other brother because he felt, you know, Cain and Abel, he was getting more than me. And as a result of that, pulled out automatic handguns, 14 and a 15-year-old.
Where did they get it from? That's the question. Where did each one get it from? I hope not the house, because for both of them,
well, let me add another sick story.
It's not the way we want to end off the year.
So let me add another sick story, John. In Jamaica, I think it was last week, a mother and a son, and her 17-year-old son, got into a verbal altercation. The 17-year-old son came at the mother with a knife to kill her, and the mother shot him. She shot him twice. He got up and so enraged that he still came after her. She shot him a third time, and that one put him down. Now, I've heard different people.
Yo, my mom said, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out.
And that's exactly what she did. She took him out. So
as my father would say, he let his eyes pass his mother.
Yeah. Now,
mother can be wrong.
I'm with the mother on this. A lot of people like the mother shouldn't have killed him. I'm like, yeah, John, I brought you in here and I'm gonna take you out. Right? I brought you in and I'm gonna take you out. How are you gonna go at your mother with a knife? Like, people are like, oh, the mother shouldn't have shot him. The mother was a cop, by the way. So she had a legal handgun. Right? Some people are like, oh.
Can you imagine, Roger? That took everything in her
to shoot her son,
to kill her own son.
You know, like people, oh no, my mother said something like, oh, she should have shot him in the leg. I'm like, Ma, you can't shoot nobody in the leg, not a moving target. It's a moving target. You have to be like a perfect marksman to shoot somebody in the leg. Like you shoot him, you shoot at him until he stops. Right?
No, but you know, a lot of times you got to shoot him in the foot. Once you shoot him in the foot, you shoot them in the foot. That stops movement.
You know what I tell people all the time? Anybody who tells me to shoot somebody in the foot, I say go to the range and aim for the foot, and let me see how well you do. Because you know you could have shot him. That's not how gun works. That's not how.
Project, but works. You put it this way: once you shoot a person in the foot, at that point in time they lose their balance. Either they're going to topple.
No, I'm not saying don't shoot the person in the foot. What I'm saying is that people who are not gun owners or ever fired a gun or practice with a gun thinks that you can just shoot somebody in the foot and it's that easy. Right? It's not. It's a moving target. when the
That's
target
true.
is
You're right.
moving, right? When the target
And
is
the
moving,
target's so small. And the target's so small. You're correct.
right? You know, and that's why I say to people, you gotta go to the range and practice. Also in Queens, a couple of side stories while we at it today.
Yeah.
In Queens, the 39-year-old man and his passenger in a car, and they started shooting up the car, killing the
On
passenger.
Liberty and 120 something Street. Yep.
And the guy ended up going to the precinct, and the passenger dead, and the driver was riddled with bullets. So that's kind of messed up today. We also had in Texas this morning, early this morning, a family of 7 were driving from the safari, driving back. They're coming back from the safari. They're going to Georgia, and a 17-year-old male in a pickup truck with another passenger was driving on the wrong way of the highway.
Wow.
Had a head-on collision, killing 6 people.
Wow.
Including the driver. The driver was 28 years old, 3 years immigrant, 3 years here in the United States, killing a 60-year-old man and a 9 and a 10-year-old. The only survivor who had to be medevac, 43-year-old man was medevac. Both the driver and the passenger in the pickup truck were still alive as of earlier today. But that is bad, right? What was it? Damn, that's some sick stuff. Jennifer said he came at her. He rushed her and he came at her with a knife, trying to kill her.
Who's that? Jennifer Joseph?
Yeah.
Tell her how Barbados.
Jennifer.
How's Barbados?
I don't want to hear about Barbados. I want to hear it's been a whole year and it's gonna come around that I'm gonna see in Albany without my invitation. I don't know if John had gotten his, but I know I didn't get mine. Now you can tell us how Barbados was, right? Yeah, we will. We're gonna end on some happy notes, but we're gonna talk about 86 degrees and sun. You see what I'm saying? You see what all right? Well, 86 degrees and sunny. Were you on the beach chilling with your mojito or the Bajan rum? At least I hope you're enjoying a full vacation. A lot of things happen today. John talked about it a little bit already. We're gonna start with this, John. Let's start with the migrants. So you had a actually no, let's go back. The presidential rating has dropped significantly because of the war and people's opinion on what's happening in Gaza.
Right.
So the Israeli government is looked upon as an evil empire, and Biden and the Democrats, because the Democrats are basically in power. I mean, if it was Republican, probably the same outcome, but it's the Republican end, and their ratings are significantly lower because of their support on Gaza. What do you say to a Jewish man here in the United States where Biden might lose his presidency? This is part of, because remember, Trump lost his presidency over COVID. So one issue could take you out. If you were the president of the United States,
It wasn't only COVID, brother. It wasn't only COVID.
Oh, COVID was a big deal.
COVID was a big deal, but it wasn't only COVID.
But I think COVID took it over the top. But anyway, we're going back to Biden.
COVID was one, but don't forget George Floyd. Response to George Floyd also added to that.
I don't think George Floyd added to it.
I think so. The treatment.
No, I mean I don't want to skip the issue, but George Floyd didn't add.
COVID was the icing on the cake.
No.
But it did happen during
No,
his
wait,
time.
hold on. The reason why I'm saying to you that George Floyd wasn't a major issue, it shed light on police brutality, but it didn't affect Trump at a large level, because who were the people who were up in arms, right? It was blacks. And just like
No, it wasn't only blacks that
it was from,
it
hold
went
on,
all around the world.
wait, Dr. Brian. It was Democrats that were up in arms, right? It was Democrats that were up in arms. So they weren't Trump voters to begin with. What?
So now you sound like Nikki Haley now. Since they're not our voters, why should I care about them? Why should I even talk about it?
Remember, so Trump spoke about public safety. Who do you think is who highlights public safety? Who, when they said defund the police, that didn't help Democrats. Defund the police.
Nope, not at all.
Right? Actually hurt them. Remember, Democrats lost the House.
Yep.
No, let's not. Trump lost the presidency, but the Democrats lost the House. So let's just be clear about some of these things. That COVID, and the impact of COVID on the economy killed Trump, right? And his response, and the lies that were involved in it. So he lost his base, but he also gained a lot of people. Because in 2020, again, let's not fail to realize 75 million people voted for Trump.
Yep.
So let's not be fooled. Although, I mean, 80 million people voted for Biden, but 75 million voted for Trump. So, George Floyd had almost no impact. But COVID, and because he went back to public safety and what public safety need to look like. And the Republicans want to hear about public safety. So he was able to gather some of his base. Anyway, I'm just talking about Biden right now in Gaza. What do you do if you're him as president, seeing that your rating is plummeting because you support this war, and your rating is plummeting because now Biden has a problem because
am I worried about ratings? I'm worried about doing the right thing.
You're the president of the United States. You tell me.
I'm the president of the United States. I'm worried about doing the right thing.
Absolutely not.
History, you know what? That's
John,
your point.
John, politicians, you're an elected official, right? So I'm answering you this question, right? It's not just about doing the right thing, but is it about staying elected? You're muted, John.
I'll tell you something, and this is what's wrong with us as politicians. If we're so concerned about remaining in office as opposed to doing the right thing, the just thing, the moral thing, then we don't need to be in office at all.
But how many politicians stepped away from office? Would you say you have a lot more who stepped away from office for doing the right thing, or those who stayed in office and tried to find ways to stay in office? Which one? John?
The latter. We all know it's the latter. Come on, we know it's the latter.
So therefore, Biden right now is concerned.
And the reason that is because that's why you need term limits.
Yeah, well, that's true, right?
That's why you need term limits.
Right, I agree.
You need term limits.
So the thing right now that I'm saying, Dr. Bryant, is that Biden's base, the Democratic base.
You know what? I think a lot of people are just frustrated, just overall.
With what?
I do.
With what? I'm not saying no. I'm asking you with what?
I'm going to share with you. So this morning, I received a text from a friend who's in Sharjah. He sent me something. He was like, your president actually is supporting Ukraine and Israel, but what happened to the migrants, the governors, the mayors, and the governors who need support in their own state? You support international more than you support at home, and some people are feeling that way.
True.
That's a good
So
point.
it's
So you added now
losing
to it.
people because if you're spending billions of dollars out of the country and people, your own people in different states are, hey, we need help, we need support, muted. That's the problem. You're more focused on outside than inside.
So you're
It's
that's
losing
right.
more people by the day. This migrant issue is not a good thing for him as well, because
No, it's not.
he does absolutely nothing. Here you have college students coming in and saying he's pointless. He does absolutely nothing. What's the sense of
And then
having
it
him
goes
as
back
president?
to Chuck Mahan. Chuck brought up
Chuck, Big Chuck. What's up, my friend Chuck?
Chuck brought up that Biden is not a good president, right?
There you go. And people are so, like you said, COVID was one, migrant crisis and war is two. Migrant crisis, war, then the high interest rate that went up. So people are like, hey, I don't know, he was supposed to be good, but we're not seeing. Well, I'll say this. I was happy what he did with student loan, but everything else, he needs to have a tighter grip.
Americans have short-term
memory
problems, right?
It's what you do last that matters.
What I mean by that is you're only as good as the last thing that you did. And so glad you brought up student loans, but many
and
Americans,
COVID, he was able to help out.
Yeah,
with COVID.
but the stimulus check, right? Don't forget about like this, a lot of things that happened with COVID, right? That he was able to support and bring COVID people back out on the streets, right? JR, what's going on, man? I haven't been invited to one of those specials, man. I'm a little bit upset, JR. Like JR and Jennifer, Jennifer, I don't blame you one bit. All day, every day, just have some rum and some good food. So if you're the presidential advisor right now, what are you telling him?
Make some impact on migrant crisis. That's important.
But that you can't tell him that. You're the advisor. What are you telling him to do?
Support the states. Be active.
That's not a good answer. If your student gave you the answer, wouldn't you slap them upside the head?
Listen, right now he ain't doing crap.
Well, again, if your student gave you that answer,
talking to Mexico, listen, talking to Mexico is great. They're gonna keep the borders open or whatever. What sense is that?
Yeah, I just said it's a crisis. What is your solution to the crisis?
So don't say anything and just continue to let it be the way it is.
I didn't say that. I said what would be one of your solutions to the crisis?
I don't know. You tell me.
I haven't thought about it much. I think I think they need to close the border. I think they need to limit. I would suggest that he close the border off and only allow people with extreme cases to enter. So
everybody has extreme cases based on what's been happening.
No, I think it's a free for all, right? Limit the amount of people who come across per day. You need to provide funding. So each migrant comes with this much federal funding, right? You have Habitat for Humanity, you have HUD, you have other organizations that can build. You have
but then the people are gonna say, what about the people here? What about the people who are homeless here? What about the people that's here?
Right. And John, that's an absolutely good point, right? Yeah, but you gotta send me the invite, JR. John, I'm invited, but I'm like, you gotta send me the invite. Send it to me on Facebook. I'll get it. I'll come through. I'll bring Dr. Bryant with me. All right, I bring Dr. Bryant. And John, all of us will come. All of us will come, JR. Right. But you're right, John, right? So one of the things that I was thinking about, John, there are a lot of states with a lot of space.
Right.
Right. A lot of states with a lot of space provide housing. Right. And that includes homeless, that includes I think my big thing with the migrants is the undocumented. That's my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You help the migrants, help the undocumented. So put both of them on if a migrant has a year, right? A year to establish whatever to try to get their papers. Undocumented individuals, you're here for 20 years. So if you're here for 20 years, come in, get your work and papers, start working towards you don't have a violent record, right? You're here for 10 years. I would say if you're here for 10 years or more, come and get your work and papers, right? Because you've shown that you're able to live in the United States. 5 years, you have a year to start working towards your working papers and show that you work. And obviously, the lesser years have lesser opportunities, right? But these are some things I would say to him as his advisor, right? As his advisor to help to alleviate some of the problems that he's having. So it's not just money. It's not just money that you're throwing at the situation, but you need to throw real active answers and viable solutions. So that's I mean, I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about the finances. I haven't thought about where I would have to send people out to look, send Buttigieg to look for location, his HUD secretary to look for the opportunities for financial impact on certain cities, certain states. Some states might not want it because they're going to say they're going to vote Democratic, especially in the red states, which have a lot of space. But the negotiation tactic. One of the things I learned about Republicans, John, over the years, dealing with politics, they say no to everything that a Democrat does, but they're the first one to take the money.
All the time, man. All the time.
And I'm like, so they you'd be willing. Let's quickly, Kanye, now called Ye, deleted all his posts on Instagram and made a formal apology to the Jewish community, right, for any unintended outbursts caused by words or actions. So he wants to build a relationship with the Jewish community. So he stopped. I guess his pocket started feeling it. So now he realized.
It's the same. My pocket's empty.
Yeah, exactly. So now he has to apologize. The Jewish people have a stronghold in America. I envy my Jewish brothers. I envy my Jewish brothers because our black brothers are not that strong, man. They're not. If you do something that's anti-Semitic, we only rise up when it's police brutality, right? I just spoke about something about the bank, John. And if you say to the black man, please take your money out of the bank and put it in the black bank, they're not doing it. The Jewish man will shut that bank down immediately and make the change because they'll take their money out. Oh, maybe because they have more money. I don't know. And I think I walk into a few communities, different communities, and I see their own banks. I walk into my community, I see my bank, my Carver Bank, and it's awful. It's awful.
You know, one thing I could say about, Sam Tate. Sam Tate has always been pushing for, when I was in politics, basically a credit union for our community. And that's something you can't do the bank, we do the credit unions, something to really give us the financial wherewithal to be the stewards of our own ship,
Yeah, I remember he was talking about it for over 20 years.
Yes. Yep.
Over 20 years, and it never got done. Dr. Omar Johnson, who sometimes, I do listen to what some of the things they say. What do you need to make a strong community? You need a supermarket, a school, a bank, and a hospital. Right? We don't have that. Right?
Like anymore, you need anchor tenants. And those are the anchors that we need in our community.
Yeah. And we don't have it. So that's a problem. So we need to focus on that. And when you start telling people that, they're like, oh, poof. It's funny. I was talking to somebody. I was talking to a friend of mine this week, and I said our lowest watch shows are generally shows that deal with economic responsibility. That's very interesting. What else? So Kanye did that. The mayor. We talk about the liberal mayors, Eric Adams. Well, I wouldn't consider Eric Adams liberal, but from liberal cities, I would say. So, and people fail to realize from 1992 to 2012, we only had Republican mayors. So that's over 20 years. I'm not sure how liberal we are in New York City. Eric Adams, Mayor Johnson, and Mike Johnson, and Brandon Johnson, as well as Mayor Adams, had a virtual press conference calling for more actions from the federal government around the migrant issue. John, what I find to be interesting about this migrant issue. Welcome. I'm tired of you. You gotta go. All right, help me. I don't want this anymore. That's what I find interesting. Hey Monet, how you doing? John always has a table. Next up is the Reset Awards. All right, that's cool. Put me down, June 8th. I have to ask the wife, but I think I know my son is playing baseball. Let me know the time. Send me. Hit me up on no, send info to John, and then I'll get it. Send info to John, and I'll get it. Pretty E Jackson, blessings to all. John, it's good seeing you. You're still going strong. All right.
Thank you.
So let's get a quick commercial, and then once the commercial comes, then we're gonna go to the year in review. Andre?
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouth-watering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
Call Howard Housing Solution today for all your real estate needs. Sellers, we can get top dollar for your home, and our vast network of professionals can facilitate your move and help you purchase your dream home in another state. Buyers, we have a pulse on the market and can get you in a home quickly. Property owners, we can manage your property efficiently and allow you peace of mind. So why wait? Call Howard Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560 for your sale, purchase, or property management needs. Conveniently located in East New York, Brooklyn. You can come to us at 577 New Lots Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, or we can visit in the comfort of your home. Call Howard's Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560. Howard Housing Solutions. Real estate simplified.
Want to get your personal income tax, business corporate tax, self-employment tax, quarterly tax, payroll tax, or sales tax filing done professionally?
Yeah.
Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and take the worry out of your personal and business life. Tax compliance issues should be left to the pros. So when you want your business to grow, call the pros because a successful business matters. U.S. Bear LLC also handles accounting, bookkeeping, business startups, consultation, real estate, and many more services. Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and ask for Howard DaCosta, CEO, to book a 1-hour evaluation at no cost to you. Take remote control of all your needs and U.S. Bear LLC will follow your lead. Want to work but don't have a social security number? Yes! Find out about getting a tax ID to pay your taxes. Call U.S. Bear LLC or log on to www.usbear.com. Team up for success.
Roderick, what happened to you, man? You fell asleep?
No.
What?
My mind. I told you I was tired. I told you that I was tired and exhausted. Remember at the beginning? No, you didn't hear at the beginning of the show. But no, I didn't fall asleep. I was actually thinking about the flatbread. To be honest.
Yeah.
I really was thinking about the flatbread. I was sitting there going. I would really like to have a piece of this flatbread right now. You know, year in review, right? What are some things that happened this year on the show?
On the show.
You know, we had some really good guests all year. But let's talk about we were able to hit the studios, get back into the studios this year, spend a lot of time there. Brought some good guests in. We brought in Mercedes Narcisse, who's now our city council person. We're still waiting on Roxanne. John, you know, John is quiet. John, we're still waiting on Roxanne. John, why are you quiet? John, why are you quiet? Speak up. We're still waiting
I was muted.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Roxanne. You're supposed to, and we're still waiting on the mayor. John.
Get him. No, you know what? We should get him in the first of the year.
All right. So that's
What's
John's
the last time he was on? When he was running, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he was on a couple of times when he was borough president and when he was running for mayor. So
we'll get him back. I'm not worried. We'll get him back.
Yeah. We had a couple. We spoke a lot on the migrant issue, education and public safety. Like what's going on in our schools, Dr. Bryant, having that kid stabbed over there. We
talked about our community. Our community needs to be a little bit more involved in, you know, just dealing with, you know, the violence, the educational needs, economic needs. Yeah. Just a really holistic approach of just dealing with our community issues.
John.
Yeah, going back to
John and Dr. Bryant, our community needs to stand up for themselves more, and they need to stand together more. We're not doing that. We're accepting certain issues and certain things that are thrown at us. We don't question our political leaders. We just vote for them, right? And we don't, you know, we don't vote in primaries. We only vote in general election where it doesn't. Not let it. I don't want to tell people that general election doesn't matter, but the primaries is, especially living in a Democratic city, or Democratic district. You know, your vote matters a lot more in the primaries, and your questioning and following the candidates matter more in the primaries. And stop being independent stop the foolishness about
What's wrong with being independent?
because it's the same thing. Independent. Okay, I tell people all the time, in New York City, City Council has 51 members, right? City Council has 51 members. Of the 51 members, I believe 46 of them are Democrats, right? 46 of them are Democrats. What's the point of being an independent in New York City? There's only one district in New York City. One district in New York City where there was a real battle. Two. One in South Queens. Or is that South Queens, John, over there? Like Corona, Flushing. Is that South Queens?
Oh no, Whitestone over there in the area where you have, Whitestone, Flushing area.
Yeah, right over there, and Diker Heights,
Southeast Brooklyn,
where you have a real run between a Democrat and a Republican, right? Everywhere, Staten Island, the areas that where the Republicans came from, right? Guess what? They have elected Republicans since I've ever known. So what's the point of being an independent in an area where the Republican candidate is always going to be elected? You really don't have a voice. Right. So being an independent, you have no voice in the community in which you live in if that community does not have a real election. Independent in New York City would become only important if they get rid of primaries and there's only one vote. Then being independent matters, right? Independent. You when you're independent, you only get to vote for the two people who won their primaries.
Right.
You have literally no real say in how your community is going to be run. So being independent, it's your choice, right? It's your choice to be who you want to be. I'm not telling people that they don't be an independent. I said that it's not a value in New York City to be an independent because you really don't. If you think Jumaane Williams is the worst public advocate ever,
why would
if you're an independent, if you think he's the greatest public advocate ever, it doesn't matter if you're an independent,
right?
And so, people, the village, going back to that civic responsibility, is that you have to know how does your vote matter, or unless John, the independents can get together in a very strong way and develop their own candidates, right?
But I don't think there's enough of them. You could get to independent primary, but then people are far too much more. If there's an open race where there's no affiliation, you have a better chance.
Yeah, that's the only time you get elected, right? And most people who get elected, even like a Bernie Sanders, who's an independent, he runs as a Democrat, and then when he gets elected,
he runs,
right. He runs in the Democratic primary. That's where he runs, and then he calls himself an independent later on. But and he caucuses with the Democrats. Let's just be
correct.
Be clear. Venice writes, it's actually very important in terms of how a community gets funded. Yeah, you're voting absolutely matters. And again, people, I don't want to deprive you of voting, but I want you to also understand voting, right?
Understand voting. Politics is local, man. All politics is local.
All politics is local, right? The 99% of America will never see Joe Biden when he's president.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
99% will never see him. Right. And, you know, 70% of New York will never see Kathy Hochul. Right. Except for on television. But yet
Right.
still, we're jumping. I see Chuck Schumer. I haven't seen Chuck Schumer since he became the leader of the Senate. I have not seen him one time. He came before I became chair of the board. Under the previous chair, he came to the board a couple of years ago before he became leader 2022. Right? He became leader 2020
Last year.
2022. Actually last year, January, he became the official leader. And I haven't seen him since. Right? I don't know if you've seen him, John. He normally will come to like swearing ins of
Yeah, you see him swearing ins and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes in, he gives his little speech, and then he leaves. There's no interaction with him nor his office. So politics is local. So at the village, we're informing you those are something that you need to look into. So major things that happen around some major things that happen around the world. The Trump cases, John.
Free Trump, free Trump, free Trump.
Letitia James, Florida. What's her name? The district attorney down there in Georgia, not Florida. He has about 94 cases, charges pending against
90
him.
something. Yeah. Okay.
You know, a lot of things stemming out of the insurrection.
He's going to be the Teflon. He's going to be the next John Gotti, the Teflon Don.
Don Gotti, yeah.
Donald Trump, Don Trump.
You know, they just found something on him with Michigan.
Oh wait, it was breaking news. Maine kept him off of the ballot.
Breaking news, it just came out.
Yep, at 7 something.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's no big deal. Supreme Court going to jump in, and everybody going to be going left. Supreme Court's going to jump in and, leave the Donald Trump on the ballot, man. If you're going to win, let's beat him fair and square. I don't need all these different states and want him here.
Remember what I said? Thanks for the update, Dr. Bryant. Remember what I said before? I think a lot of states are going to put him out. A lot of states are going to put him out.
No, there's a lot of states that put him in, put him out. So that's why the Supreme Court's going to jump in, and it's going to be over with.
I just got a news that Nate, I don't know who, Nate Napolitano.
Right.
Matt Napolitano, Fox News Audio Network anchor and reporter. Wow. Dies at 33 from an infection. Wow. 33 years old. And that football player just died too. He was 36 years old from Florida. He had dental sepsis.
Dental sepsis?
Yeah, dental sepsis. He died last week.
A lot of people died this year.
Yeah.
But you know what? We gotta celebrate those who have life too.
Yeah. I love the fact that the new color purple is coming out.
It came out.
I know not is coming out. Came out.
Why do you love it?
Pardon me?
Why do you love it?
Because it was one of the great movies of the 80s.
You know, I was speaking to a friend of mine last night, and she mentioned that her child, who just came in from college, and they mentioned, why do they keep remaking old slavery movies and not looking and making movies about the future or where they want people to be? Yes, it is a legend. It is something, but it's a great point too. You know, we keep looking at the past, but we need to be heading towards the future as well. You could remake anything,
Yeah, but I think
They did the play, they did the musical, they
right.
did the remix. So
But think about it, Dr. Bryant, right? Roots, Michael Jackson, um, Color Purple, Racing in the Sun. These are all iconic shows, performances.
I understand, but we
But
all
that's why so that's why you don't want a Nikki Haley,
okay.
right?
Yes. I don't want a Nikki Haley or whatever, but in creating movies, like, and this is a college student, freshman and everything. We are so stuck on the past. We
That's
can't.
the mindset of the young people, and that's what you have to
And that's why
juxtapose
you
that.
need the Color
You
Purple.
know,
That's exactly why you
yeah.
need it.
I mean, but also at the same time, then it's all about really just learning about history and learning about yourself, so we don't repeat it. But it's the same. Like, what do we want to do different in the future? You know?
Right. But Dr. Butterfly lift and inspire Mansa and Marcus. Let's go. Color Purple. Yeah, the name of the football player who played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and retired at 36 is Mike Williams. He was a wide receiver, I believe, for Tampa Bay. 36. Actually, he died early in the year, but they only brought it up towards the end of the year.
Okay.
He died in September. Right.
Thank you, Bernice, for saying that too.
Um,
She said the original was epic and this one just did not come close to it. I think the reason for the replays is so that the younger generation can connect with the story. Okay.
I agree, and that's exactly what we're saying. That you don't forget your past. 'Cause if you forget your past, you're bound to repeat it, and you don't want to be repeating your past, right? You know, the reality is that those who are racist, like some of the elders in politics, they won't go watch Color Purple. There are tons of books and films on racism, slavery, and so on. We can refer to those. Yes, I agree, and I agree. Right. You can explain a little bit more, Dr. Butterfly, to the audience what you're talking about with that level of connection. We spoke about the migrant crisis and what that looks like, and the paradigm shift, right? Like the paradigm shift becomes important because initially, like John was saying, when it came to the migrant population, it was bring them. We want to be. I thought we had that clip when Mayor Adams.
She said, hold on. Oh, sorry. Knowledge is power says, but recreating the same slave stories isn't the pointing towards creating something new. As you say, history repeats itself if we fail to learn from it. Art is an imitation of life.
Absolutely.
Actually, they see it as just entertainment.
Sorry, just it got signed because it's reading the films are art and they imitate what is already. So can we say we are repeating history in our art? Certainly a possibility. Yes, but I think it's also creating knowledge of real situations. Many times, many times, people don't go out and look for these things. But not only that, when you recreate them, you present them, and so people might make the comparison, right, between as Venice did, right? might make the comparison between the two, right? Like which one is greater, which one is not, but at least they're watching, right? They're watching and acknowledging. As I was saying with the migrant issue, people, there's a paradigm shift in belief. Initially, it was more like, let's go, migrants, let's go. Now it's like, please get out. There are too many of you.
Well, yes, there was. Last year, all the politicians had the red carpet ready for them to welcome. Hey, come on. You know, the mayor even mentioned, hey, you know what? You don't want them, send them our way. And here nowadays, we don't have space for you. You have limited days, 30 days, 60 days. Okay. Limit what's coming in, what's going out. It is, I can't even every day to get plane full of migrants or bus full of migrants and not knowing where to put them is an overwhelming situation. It truly is.
My favorite topic, Dr. Brian's
Wait, I'm not done.
You want to go to your favorite topic, huh?
No, I'm not done with my migrant situation. But here's the thing. Now it's come to the point where I think it was this week, either this week or last week, where some of the residents in and around the vicinity were mentioning that some of the migrants were coming to their homes, multiple of them asking for food and money and things like that. And it becomes a scary situation because you don't know who's who. Yes, they're migrants, but once they start coming to your backyard and knocking on your door and things like that, people feel they don't feel as safe anymore. And that's where,
today I went to one of my food spots to go and get my dad isn't feeling well. So I went to take, so basically I always talk too much, my wife says, but I went to take my aunts home because they came to visit, and then my wife asked me to pick up something from the supermarket. And then while on my way home, I said, you know what? My dad is not feeling well. Let me get him some chicken soup. Right. And I got a couple other things at the restaurant. And before I entered the restaurant, I didn't pay much attention, but the person was there. They were eating. They had a small plate of food that they were eating out. And when I came back out, she spoke to me in Spanish, and she was asking for money. And then I turned around and I started conversing with her in Spanish, telling her that I don't have any money on me, no cash, no whatever to give to her and stuff. And then I recognized that she was a migrant, and she was out there panhandling in today. But then I began to realize also that they do receive a lot of benefits. It's not like they don't. So I'm not understanding why they are essentially so frequently, right? So frequently, in today's society, I fail to come to a realization of that. As a Black person living and breathing, we're living our past, but in an entirely different way. I don't know if it's entirely different. I think it's within the times that are going on, but the things that are happening to us is still the same. Poverty, lack of education, safety. We kill, hurt, maim our own more by raw sheer numbers than any other unit in society. Not raw, but by percentage. So whereas you might say, blacks kill more people. Black kill more people than any other race in the United States. even with the mass shooting. We don't do mass shooting, but my grandmother would say, one cocoa full basket. So sometimes you get 10 cocoa and throw it in the basket. Yeah, that's a lot one time. But if you keep putting one in there and another one and another one and one and another one, we are responsible for the highest number of murders in the United States. Raw number, not in percentage, raw number. So yeah, I don't know. We're living in the times that we are, and but it's hard to change, right? It's what you were taught, right? Hey, hey, Jalen, how you doing, Mr. Pierre?
Hey,
Welcome, right? And so people are there, and they're doing those things. Some degradation, and I'm likely going to follow and imitate. Yeah, that's part of it. On that topic, why most of the young men between 21 and 30. Well, actually, it's a little bit younger.
But there's more to her question.
Right? Is the country accepting them for a reason? Oh, you're talking about the migrants. Maybe put them to war with a pathway to citizenship, or towards.
Yeah,
towards pathway to citizenship. That's something that we discussed. But there actually are migrants are on a pathway to legalization, right? They are. I don't know if there's a hidden agenda, right? But it's what we have. But they're on a pathway to citizenship.
Hey, Anna.
Hey, Anna, long time. What do you think about the young mothers with their baby tied on their backs, selling chocolate, moving? Well, they're doing that everywhere. In the summers, they're standing on the street.
Yeah, it's really a problem.
I think the babies on the backs add emphasis, right? It's adding emphasis to the situation. Like, this is why I need to support them. That's why you need to support them, right? That's why you need to buy the chocolate. That's why they sell like a little cup of watermelon for $5. I'm like, what? Where are you? Right? And that's true. And but they don't know anything about Pan-Africanism. They don't know anything about the historical the migration back to Africa. They don't know anything about, and why.
Don't know. That's a good question. And many, you have many individuals.
I think yes. The answer to your question, Anna, is yes. Yes, they are. They have it's a group of people who put them out there and send them out to sell, and they need to come back and they need to sell a certain amount of.
You're talking about the people with the flowers, or the people
with the flowers, the people with the melon, the people with the chocolate. They have to sell a certain amount per day. So the young people add the kids, not young people, the kids add emphasis. So when you see them, you have pity, right? And you buy the chocolate. So yeah, they do work for an organization, for a specific person who provide them with this opportunity, and they get a certain percentage of whatever they sell. So the answer to your question is yeah. What's Venice's question? I rather see them than the young, strong men begging. Okay, that's what in reference to Anna. Yeah. All right. Many years ago, I used to see like a lot of males, right? Yeah.
You have a lot of families. That's part of it.
I used to see a lot of males by the U-Haul station, right? Waiting to
construction to pick up.
Yeah, pick up and for them to get daily work. Now it's everywhere, right? Now it's everywhere.
Yeah, but you don't know who you're taking to your house, so be careful with that too.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. I'm going on to my favorite topic. I don't like Megan. I don't care what Dr. Brian says. I think she was unprepared to be a princess. I don't care if there is racism. in the royal family. Very, very much racism. But I think that she was unprepared to becoming a royalty. She expected to walk in there and change them. And she didn't understand that it's a situation of conforming. And Harry has nothing to lose because he's not going to be king, right? Harry has moved. So Charles is king. Williams is next in line. William has 2 sons. So in order for Harry to be king, somebody has to abdicate the throne, or Charles die, William die, his 2 children die, before Harry can even become king. So he's like, what's that? 4th in line, 5th in line, 6th in line, one of them to become king. But Meghan, to me, caused too much problems. And I'm sorry he married her. I really am.
Okay, move right on.
No, I'm not moving along. That's not you. You might not like my statement. You might not like because you think it's a negative statement or not. Kate knew what it took to be a princess. Stay out of the limelight. Stop causing it. Kate knew. Camilla knew what it took. You knew your role. You're marrying into a society. You need to know your role and your responsibility. You can't walk in there, oh, this is me with your loud self. If you are supposed to, you can't walk in there wearing a multicolored dress because I wear multicolored dresses. I don't wear white dresses. I don't wear plain. No, you got to walk in there and change your wardrobe, right? Change your wardrobe to a dress. And Meghan wasn't willing to do that. And I think that she was on path to destroy the monarchy. Now, if you're not for the monarchy, then you're fine. But if you love the monarchy, you don't like her. And I know Dr. Bryant don't like when I talk about, that's why she's dead quiet. But Meghan, well, they're doing okay. And also, I have a question. Why are so many companies dropping her? Like a lot of companies are dropping her as well. She had a couple shows and a couple podcasts, and they dropped her. So that says a lot as well, that it's not just what's happening in the palace, but it's also about her. And we might have to think about that as well. She has a bad attitude. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right? The attitude needs adjustment. Dr. Bryant don't like it, but it is what it is. Mass shootings and school shootings. That's one of the things that happened this year.
AI also happened this year.
Yeah, AI and its consequence. Yeah, what's going on with AI in artificial intelligence? Somebody just sent me something where one of the robots attacked a worker. This was a couple of years ago, but it didn't come out in the news until recently. Mm-hmm. But it just came out that that he was working on the robots, and he did something. He didn't do something to one of them, and they attacked him, pinned him.
But they stay quiet about that. You know that they stay very quiet about that, which is very.
This happened at the Tesla plant in Texas, so that was kind of scary. What's going on in America with the guns, right? I am an advocate for.
Wait. Did you see the AI machine, the robot that they have for MTA2 to stop the crime?
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm. So AI and all these robots are replacing iRobot. That is what I thought. iRobot 100%. They're replacing human beings. Going to a supermarket, yes, they have the self-checkout or whatever. Closing, MTA got rid of all these wonderful people and put in, hey, you do the machine. So more and more jobs people are losing jobs to robots, similar to iRobots. Robot dog, robot police officers now, robot take over, like you mentioned. Knowledge is power. All these are taking over, but now, the scary thing about AI that they were mentioning is, in a search or a run to be the first at things, we let certain things go, and at the end you have no control over it,
Yep.
because this country want to take over, this country want to take over. Okay, the safeguard cap that can be put on it no longer. It's the wild wild west. And then that's where you have, hey, you know what, I shut the robot off, but no, it wasn't fully shut off, because it noticed that two of the other two robots were being destroyed. So, you're creating, what is it going to be at the end? We're setting something up where we're not really prepared for that end result. So,
You know what I find to be funny when I think about AI and robots and all the artificial intelligence out there?
Mhm.
I think like they don't do AI to do menial labor. So you don't have the AI that's going to clean the streets, clean the hospitals. They have the AI that's going to be taking away jobs,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That it doesn't make people say, "Hey, I need to go get an education.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
need to go build myself up on this level." It's AI that will put people back at the menial job levels. So I thought about that when I was thinking about the AI doing the construction work on the line, which is a skilled job. Now all of a sudden AI is doing the skilled work. So now those skilled workers will be out of a job, right? Things like that. So I
And they're
think
going
about
to take it out on someone.
that, right?
They're going to
Um,
take it out on a group. They're going to take it out and blame other people for taking over their job, not realizing that certain technologies that you're putting in place is actually replacing you.
All right. We want to finish in a positive note. We only have a couple minutes left. Um, Investing in our children and our children's talent, spending time allocating to it. I know I'm investing in my last two. They play baseball. I want to invest in that. If you have a child, invest in the child, because you don't know where the outcome is. You don't know where that's going to happen. Hello to Shohei Ohtani and signing the richest contract in sports history by signing for $70 million a year for 10 years. And he deferred.
This one is a great one. Investing in health. That's
Right.
important. Speak about it all
Yeah,
the
no,
time. Investing in
yeah,
health,
all the
investing
time.
in your community, investing in your children, and investing in one another's lives. That is
Yes.
so important. Family is so important. Remember, family first. They'll stand behind you, they'll stand with you. Even if they get on your nerve, they are there at every point. Family that become, or friends that become family. So we do appreciate all of our listeners tuning in, writing, commenting, and just giving a shout out. So thank you, thank you for spending this wonderful year with us, full of roller coasters, ups and downs. But we actually made it to the end, the last Thursday of the year, ladies and gentlemen. So please, please, please take time out for you, invest in yourself, and guess what? We're gonna see you next year.
All right. I just want to make sure that I add a couple of birthdays before I forget. Happy birthday to my cousin Anika, my friend in Kenya, my wife's cousin Marvin. Today is actually his birthday. Happy birthday to a couple of my Domino people. Sandokan, by the way, is Mr. Thompson.
Sorry, Dwight. Look at this. I never get a chance to speak. Dwight, you can
Why
always.
you never, but I don't understand.
I'm sorry if we missed your
We
comment.
yeah, we did.
Did we?
We
I gotta go back.
Sandokan, Chadwick, Fred, happy birthday. And on Monday is my former principal's birthday, Veronica Peterson, happy birthday, as well as Herbie. Herbie's my classmate, schoolmate, roommate, housemate, not roommate, housemate. when I went to high school, and he and I share the same month. So happy birthday to him.
Oh,
Dwight,
January 2 is coming up.
Dwight, I believe full 100 in investing in your health. We don't always agree on what investment look like, but as long as you invest in your health, everybody else think they have the right method, but as long as you spend the time investing in your health. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been awesome. Make sure you get out and watch something celebratory this weekend. Watch the ball drop, go out with your family, go to church, whatever you need to do to celebrate. Thank you for all.
Wait, I gotta give a shout out to my great aunt who turned 95 the day after Christmas.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Right. So thank you. Thank you to all of you, all the villagers out there. Dwight, we see all of your comments. I never get a chance to speak. Happy New Year when it comes. Family, invest in yourself, your health, your wealth, and your family. That is 100% correct. God bless each and every one of you. Enjoy the rest of the year. Enjoy your holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Merry Christmas. Happy belated Hanukkah. And all the likes. And see y'all in 2024. Our producers are 20 years back, but we'll take it. All right. Good night.
Good night.
And remember, please continue to subscribe, continue to share, right? And as you continue to listen. God bless. Take care.